Hi, welcome to my biology class, and this is the topic classification, the second chapter of the first unit. And you know what classification means, it's grouping. It's one of the component of taxonomy, and the grouping is not a easy thing, no, like so many plants are there, so many animals were there, how to group. And see, as it is given in the book The Dawn of Civilization, from then on we had been trying to classify all the plants. These are all the plants to be under one family, these are all the plants to be under one class. Like the classification, the grouping was such a hectic phenomenon for the scientists, those who have dealt with. And Aristotle has made a scientific approach of a classification. He placed plants in three categories: herbs, shrubs and trees. That's it, only three. And animals with RBC, without RBC. He just made it. But still here there was a confusion. What about the trailers? What about the climbers and all? Invertebrate, vertebrate confusions were there. So later on it was simultaneously it was getting improvised. So here Linnaeus was the one, he was the father of taxonomy. He started classifying with a broad perception. His classification was two kingdom classification. He broadly classified into Plantae and Animalia. That's it. Plantae and Animalia. Plantae he made 24 classes, and Animalia 6 classes he made. And after that, but this classification was not completely accepted. This classification was an artificial classification. It is an artificial classification, in the sense only few characters have been considered. He has considered only an andrecium, monandria, diandria, triandria, polyandria, like he has just considered only one character or few character of a plant has been considered. So his classification was an artificial classification. So later on there was a need. Here he didn't give a detaility of prokaryote. He didn't tell anything about prokaryote and eukaryote. He didn't place properly. This was one demerit. The second demerit about this classification is there is no distinction of unicellular and multicellular. This is the second drawback of his classification. When think about the third one, he didn't discriminate photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic. In the sense, see, generally you know that plants are all autotrophs, animals are all heterotrophs, it is like. But under the plant category, fungi is heterotroph. So there was a confusion. These are all the demerits of Linnaean classification. So they just gone with three kingdom classification. Later on, Haeckel made three kingdom classification. In this, he made Protista, Plantae, Animalia. Protista means he made all unicellular eukaryotes. Unicellular eukaryotes. Eukaryotes means U means true, karyo means nucleus. True nucleus. True nucleus in the sense the nucleus should have nuclear membrane, nucleolus, and chromatin reticulum in it. So these three things are prominently present means it is a eukaryotic cell. If there is no true nuclear membrane, nucleolus and all, it is simply nucleoid, incipient nucleus. That comes under prokaryote. Pro means primitive. It is primitive. Primitive nucleus. Okay, let us see this. Okay, so he just made, but still they see this thing unicellular, multicellular, that category has been classified here. But what about the prokaryotic and eukaryotic? So there was a confusion. So there the four kingdom classification, Copeland in 1956 he made with Monera, Protista, Plantae and Animalia. In Monera he made all prokaryotic cell comes under Monera. All prokaryotic cell like bacteria. Okay, so the nucleoid, there is no nucleus, it is primitive nucleoid is present, DNA is present, but there is no nuclear membrane and nucleolus. He gave place for this. So here prokaryote, this thing has been clarified, and unicellular has been clarified here. Now the photosynthetic and non-photosynthetic thing. Plantae, so see this plantae, all autotrophic organisms, and animalia, all heterotrophic organism. Here still there was a problem, where to place fungi, where to place lichen, where to place virus. That confusion was going on with this. So again in 1969 Whittaker made a 5-kingdom classification. This is the classification we are following in NCERT, and here he made Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. So the fungi was in utter confusion because he has fungi, all the fungal cell have got a cell wall. Cell wall means absolutely it is a plant cell, but none of a single species in fungi is going for photosynthetic. So it is heterotrophic. So there was a confusion, but he has given a separate kingdom for fungi, that exactly in the middle. So here he made prokaryotic cell, unicellular eukaryotes and fungi, separate all autotrophic plants, that is organisms coming under plantae, all heterotrophic organisms, especially without cell wall, all comes under animalia. So this is one of the accepted system. After this, what happened? There was a confusion. See here, he made Monera. After that, he classified again the Monera into 2 categories: Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Like this here, he has taken this in the second level. From here it is going like you will be talking about what Archaebacteria is, what Eubacteria is, like this the classification is going on in this direction. But the next coming scientist, Woese, he made in 1990, what he has done was, why segregating after Monera, he just given Archaebacteria a separate kingdom, Eubacteria a separate kingdom, and then this Protista, fungi, plantae, animalia as such. This is the 6 kingdom classification. After that also 7 was made by Cuvier, Smith, and it's all a kind of a confusion and added burden. So they just made with 5 kingdom, at the max 6. So this has been widely followed. And what are all the criterion he has considered to make a classification? This is the one we are going to deal elaborately. So in this, what are all the things means? For example, see, he has considered cell structure. Cell structure, prokaryote, eukaryote. Thallus organization. Thallus organization, how the unicellular or multicellular, how it has gone with, and mode of nutrition, whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic. In heterotrophic it is parasite or saprophyte, symbiont, everything. And reproduction mode, he has considered the reproduction, sexual, asexual, bud formation, everything he was considering. And then phylogenetic relationships. Phylogenetic relationship, evolutionary significance. Evolutionary significance has been considered, how this is united with, from like for example Chlamydomonas he has placed under Protista. He has placed under Protista, and some of the algal members, initially what has been placed under algae now is been shifted towards Monera. We'll deal detailedly in the next class. So he just shuffled the things. From here he has placed like all unicellular, whether it is animal or a plant or whatever it is, he has just placed under protist all the unicellular, irrespective of heterotrophic or autotrophic. He has not bothered about that, but all unicellular he has just placed under this. But his idea, these are all the 5 important aspects he was concentrating on and classifying into 5 kingdom nature, and that is Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae and animalia. And this is the system we are just going to follow from the next class. I just elaborate about this Whittaker classification in our next video. Okay. If you have any comment, you please pass it on.